What's going on, y'all? It's 555 right now, and I love that because that means spirit has something to say. My spirit has something to say, so I'm going to say it. I'm sitting in my car right now because I'm about to go into an event. It starts at 6, so I'm in no rush to kind of get in there. But I wanted to send this video really quick and give y'all a quick little check. I got on my one of my favorite pieces that I got from one of my favorite Indian stores I like to go to. But I wanted to talk about, let me turn it this way because my arm hurts holding it that way. I wanted to talk about protecting your image, protecting your image. And I'm bringing this up because I've had some experiences, in my life, on my journey, when I used to do a lot of things in media. You all know, maybe you don't know, but I used to write for magazines. I used to do a lot of red carpet like interviews. I used to work in radio, and that required me to go to a lot of events, meet a lot of people, shake a lot of hands, right? And when I used to do this, being, in my energy, who I am and what I am, not even fully in this energy that I am right now. This was before I even knew what my power was. But I would be, in certain places, meeting people, shaking hands, like I said. And, when you meet people, you exchange information because people knew I worked in magazine or radio, and people wanted, to be interviewed. And I wanted to interview certain people based on who they were and what they did that I thought, was noteworthy of writing about or talking about. And protecting your identity means, ladies, when you carry yourself a certain way, meaning you're attractive, okay? We're not going to even try to sugarcoat this thing. You're beautiful, you're attractive, you're intelligent, and a lot of these places you are around a lot of men who are going to think you're beautiful, who are going to think you're attractive, who are going to think you're intelligent. And that's a beautiful, wonderful thing. When I would go to these events, though, when you meet and network and all this kind of stuff, there's always these stand and repeats. Stand and repeats are, those signs that you take pictures in front of. If you ever seen a red carpet event and you see how the celebrities stop on the carpet and all the paparazzi and the photographers and videographers are right there and they stop to take pictures, and there's this backdrop behind them, maybe with the company's names on it, sponsors' names on it. That's what a stand and repeat is. You stand there and you take pictures of paparazzis and people like that take pictures of you. So on my journey of doing what I was doing in media, I took a lot of pictures with a lot of folks, people who wanted to take pictures, people who I needed to take pictures with because I was working or I was networking. And a lot of the times, like I said, there were always a lot of men in these places. And a lot of the times I took pictures with men. And I sat back and thought about that one day when I was just at home. And I said, wow, there are probably so many pictures out there floating around in the internet world, pictures of me on a stand and repeat or at an event in a photo with a guy, with a man. And if people were to Google me and would see certain photos, they would think that I was probably in relationships or having some type of intimate relationship with these men. And I just want to put it out there, how important it is to protect your image because you are taking pictures with a lot of folks. And part of why I'm bringing this up is because there can be a lot of speculation, especially when you are a woman who's, in her power. If you're a woman who's beautiful, a woman who's intelligent, a lot of the times people think that just because you're in certain rooms that you're probably having sex or fucking your way into certain rooms. And when they say a picture is 1,000 words, right? So being careful about that, being very deliberate when you're taking photos, because a lot of times these photographers, when they take photos of you, you don't know what they do with these photos later on. There's no explanation on a lot of these photos. Once they're loaded online, It doesn't say Timmésha Burgess at the such and such event and networking with such and such or something. It doesn't say that type of thing. It doesn't specify that you just met that person there at that event. All people see is you in a photo with a man, and they automatically assume that you were with that person or have been intimate with that person. I remember going to this event with a gentleman. I didn't go with him. He invited me to an event and I met him there. Let me clarify that. I met him there, and he was a councilman here in Georgia. And so he said, you should come to this event. It'll be, some good networking for you. Especially at that time, I was, really thinking about how I wanted to be involved in politics. And so I went to this event. And of course, there's a stand and repeat. When you walk in, there's a photographer. Can we get your picture right here? Can we get your picture over here? So we stand and we take photos. Now, if you were to see that photo and the way that gentleman had me around my waist, you would think we were together. A lot of the times, men do pose with women like that. They pose, they put their hand, mostly on your above your waist or your upper back or your shoulder or something like that. That's typically how it goes. So if you were to see that photo, you would think me and that guy were together. There's been a few photos probably like that I've taken in networking spaces, in event spaces, because people knew who I was, or they didn't know me personally, but they knew I was with a magazine, they knew I was in radio, they wanted their time, to be interviewed, and so they're like, hey, let's take a picture together. So I just want to talk about protecting that image, protecting your image as a woman who, is coming or has come into your power. If you're in media, if you're a writer, if you're a journalist, if you're a speaker and you're at these events, it's really important that you be discerning about who you take pictures with, not only who, but how you're posing with them. At that time, I didn't know any of this stuff. I didn't think about this type of stuff because I didn't know to think about it. I was just happy to be doing what I was doing, meeting some of the people I was meeting. So you don't think to check yourself on, let me pose like this, or let me have some space between this person. Let me be okay with saying, excuse me, put your hand, or not put your hand around my waist, or put your hand on my shoulder, something like that. Be okay with communicating how you want to take photos until you get to the place in your life where you have a PR person that can guard that kind of stuff for you. Guard yourself, protect your energy, and be careful, when you're out doing events, how you're taking photos and who you're taking photos with, and what those photos may look like once they ever hit the internet, okay? So I just want to say that. I just wanted to share that. Y'all see photos of me out there, and there's a guy next to me. He ain't my man, okay? He isn't my man. There's probably one photo where one guy is, and that was a long time ago, and he's passed away. So rest in peace to you. So anyway, this is Fireside Chats for Global Women. I'm Timmésha. Thank you so much for subscribing here. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next go round. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram too, Timmésha Burgess. And where else? LinkedIn. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, it's Timmésha Burgess there. And on Facebook, it's Timmésha B Speaks. Okay, I hope this message resonated with some of y'all. I just felt it was important to get out. Be careful how you pose and who you're posing with. If you're out there in the media world, guard your aura. Okay, ciao.